Hello everyone, today I want to put together a tier list of self-development advice. You know, those tips and recommendations you can find on the internet, across YouTube, in self-help books. I want to compile my own personal tier list of these methods and, based on my own experience, talk about what actually works and what doesn't. Let's break it down. So I've identified 5 tiers. The lowest one will be trash. This isn't just things that don't work. Here I'll put things that will destroy, that are guaranteed to ruin your life if you do them. Stay away from these, take a look and reject them. Next up, we have the bad tier. Simply things that don't work. Things you'll mindlessly do. You'll read about them somewhere online, start implementing them in your life, and just waste your time for nothing. The next level is okay. Here I'll put recommendations that do work, but with caveats. And of course, I'll go over all those caveats as I go along. Next, we have good. These are already solid recommendations that are, well, based, ones you need to implement into your life, ones that definitely work in practice. And finally, for the grand finale, I'll leave the system hack. This is our top tier. These are recommendations that few people know about. These are methods that aren't widely known. Well, maybe they are known, but not everyone uses them. And most importantly, they are highly effective. Anyway, let's go in order, and I'll stop at each method and explain why I put it in this or that tier. And then, in the end, draw your own conclusions, what to apply and what not to. So, let's start with affirmations. Affirmations, of course, are the basics. You need to use affirmations every day. Just stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself, how great I am, how well everything is going for me, I'll succeed. Charge yourself up for success. Is that what you wanted to hear from me? Of course not. Affirmations are complete trash. Affirmations are nonsense. Just think about it. It's so ridiculous to stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm successful, I'm rich, I'm productive. That's schizophrenia, my dears. Your brain isn't stupid. You know, when you're lying on the couch in debt and telling yourself you're successful, your brain isn't dumb. It sees the mismatch. And of course, it'll give you even more anxiety. Plus, from your fantasies, you'll get a shot of cheap dopamine, and after affirmations, you'll never want to take real action. So, let's leave affirmations to that vanilla psychology. To those Instagram girls who say, I'm doing great, I'm the best, I deserve everything, the universe will give me everything. No, let's focus on what actually works. Next up in methods is the perfect plan. I'll put the perfect plan in the bad category. In general, what is perfect planning? You 100% know this type of person. They buy those pretty journals, markers, underline everything, do some planning in Notion, everything's written down. They spend hours of their time on it. At that moment, the brain checks a box, puts a little check mark, we've worked. And it releases dopamine. So perfect planning, completely mapping out your day, defining when you do what. That's also work for the brain. That's exactly why it's bad. You're tricking your brain. Instead of working, you're planning. And that's terrible. It's a trap. It doesn't work. You're just wasting your time. We're putting this in bad. Next up is the Pomodoro technique. If anyone doesn't know what it is, according to this technique, you need to work for 25 minutes and rest for 5 minutes. It's not a bad crutch. I'll put it in the mid-tier. It is okay. But this is more of a technique for beginners, just to force yourself to sit down at the table. You see, when you enter a flow state, your processor revs up, and suddenly the alarm goes off. You have to take a break. You worked for 25 minutes, oops. According to this technique, you need to go rest. That's nonsense. This way, you'll break your own focus. It's not a bad tool, I repeat, for beginners, for those who can't force themselves to work at all. But for those who don't have discipline problems, it's just a crutch. It's an utterly unnecessary pacifier. Next, what do we have? Motivational videos. Oh, this is a great topic, I'll put it in bad. Motivational videos? What are they even for? Watching other people push themselves, train, work. Meanwhile, you're sitting on the toilet or lying on the couch. All this will be empty mental masturbation. You'll just be tying your dopamine to other people's achievements. So motivational videos are an absolutely empty thing. You'll waste your time on them again. You'll again have the illusion that you did something, even though someone else did it. No, we don't do that. It's bad and meaningless. You're overloading yourself with information. Next up is meditation. Meditation, I think I'll put it in the okay tier. It's a working thing. Meditation 100% works. It can calm your nervous system and put your thoughts in order. But it's important to understand that 90% of people use meditation incorrectly. That is, they turn on some videos on YouTube, open some apps, turn on the voice of the narrator, forest sounds, and just try to escape from their anxious thoughts into that noise. That is, they replace one noise with another and do it wrong. True meditation is sitting in complete silence, facing your inner critic one-on-one, listening to your thoughts, not replacing the noise inside with noise from the outside. So, in principle, meditation works, but with caveats. Next, heavy sports. Well, actually, I'd replace heavy sports with physical activity. And if we're talking about physical activity, that's the foundation. That's absolutely the foundation. And I'm not talking about morning exercises now. I'm talking about weights, working with iron, working out in the gym, barbells, body weight exercises, pull-ups. In general, physical activity that you have on an ongoing basis in your life, where it's systematic activity. Of course, it helps a lot. It disciplines you and helps you switch from mental work to physical work. It's 100% foundation. And if you don't have physical activity in your life, I don't know what you're doing. It's literally the only way to forcibly reboot your nervous system after prolonged mental activity. So if you're not doing it, well, start. I don't know what else to tell you. Next, the 2-minute rule. I really love this rule. It's actually brilliant and simple. I'll definitely put it in the good tier. What does the 2-minute rule mean? It goes something like this. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, for example, washing a cup, replying to a message, paying a bill, making a doctor's appointment, do it immediately. Don't put it on lists, don't postpone it, because every such small task that you haven't done is an open tab in your brain, you know? And the 2-minute rule will close that open tab before it starts burning up your RAM. If the action is simple, do it quickly. That's it. Daily summary. I think I'll put this in the good tier. Daily reviews are a good thing, at least to track your state. That is, what exactly did you do today? What did you do? Just writing down specific actions, so to speak. Digitizing your day. That's a good tool, 100%. It makes sense to use it to see if you promised yourself something and whether you kept that promise. Yes, for monitoring, doing a daily review is a good thing. But again, there are nuances everywhere, and it's important not to turn it into info grinding. Next, the next self-development tip is using nootropics. That's pharmaceuticals, so to speak, for productivity. And I've noticed that this topic is generally very popular among modern Zoomers. That is, pop some pills, then sit down, work, prepare for exams, study, work on your own projects. I don't know. But what's the catch? If you already have anxiety in your head, nootropics will only amplify that anxiety. And that's why I'll put nootropics in trash, because few people know how to take them properly. Few people know how to use nootropics to their benefit. Moreover, we need to take into account individual characteristics, because people prescribe themselves random drugs and supplements and then wonder why it doesn't work. No, it's important to understand nootropics won't make you smarter. They'll give you pure focus so you consume information more concentratedly. But if you were consuming garbage anyway, you'll just consume garbage more effectively. So nootropics, in principle, could probably be put in bad too. But because this topic is overhyped and many people don't know how to use it, I'll put it in trash. Next. Searching for motivation. Searching for motivation is 100% trash. When people say, "I don't have enough motivation to start," that's terrible. Remember, motivation is not an emotion. Emotions are always unstable. Obviously, you need to build discipline. Motivation is here today, gone tomorrow. It's such a basic, grounded thing that I don't even want to discuss it. Action is always primary, and motivation will come during the process. Next. What's next? Time management. Time management, I think I'll put in the okay tier. Why? Because a rigidly scheduled day is not bad when you know what you need to do, but it works until the first force majeure. For example, your neighbor floods your apartment or your car breaks down. That's it. Your schedule is off. Your system has collapsed. You're stressed. It works much better not with time management, but with priorities. You just need to be able to set priorities, what exactly you need to do, and adapt as you go, rather than rigidly scheduling your day and following it. Next up is multitasking. Multitasking is 100% pure trash. What is multitasking? It's trying to listen to a podcast, reply on Telegram, and work on a report all at the same time. In general, trying to do several things at once, like Julius Caesar, it's terrible, because multitasking doesn't exist. There's only rapid task switching, and every switch eats up your energy, and by the end of the day, you'll feel like you've been unloading freight cars, even though you were just sitting at your computer. It's a direct path to burnout. Next, we still have the top tier, the system hack, free. And the next tool, the evening offload, goes right there. It's a super tool, and now I'll tell you how it works. So, what isn't the evening offload? I use it myself. In psychology, there's this effect called the Zeigarnik effect. The brain remembers unfinished tasks and constantly runs them in the background, creating anxiety. That's why you often wake up tired. The system hack here is that 30 minutes before sleep, or right before you go to bed, you take a blank piece of paper or open your notes and write down absolutely all the lingering thoughts from your head. For example, you need to finish a project and it's weighing on your mind. Write it down. You need to buy milk. That's also weighing on your mind. Write it down. What happens here? As soon as a thought moves to a physical medium, be it paper or a phone, the brain forcibly closes the tab in your head. The thought takes shape and is externalized from your mind. You'll be surprised how well this works. It's always worked for me. Whenever I have chaos in my head before sleep, I put it all into notes, write it down, literally giving form to each thought. That's it. I go to sleep. No thoughts bother me. They literally disappear from my head. Someone in the comments wrote that it doesn't work. I'm sure that person never even tried it. Your anxiety will definitely drop. If not to zero, then at least significantly lower, and you'll sleep properly. Just try it. Next up is waking up at 5 a.m. This is a very interesting thing that various motivation experts also love. Supposedly, wake up at 5 a.m. while everyone else is sleeping, you'll have 4 more hours in your day, you'll get everything done, it's great. In short, you wake up and just start grinding through what you need to do. 100%, this is bad. It's not straight up trash. You won't ruin your life with it, although theoretically it's possible. It just doesn't work. Let's put it this way, you'll just start waking up earlier. There's a point in waking up at 5 a.m. if you need to be at the factory by 6 a.m., you know? But waking up early just for the sake of waking up early is nonsense. That is, you'll just start raping your circadian rhythms for the sake of some pseudo-achievement, to post a story that you woke up at 5 a.m., that you're so productive. It's important to understand that productivity depends not on what time you woke up, but on whether you control your day. Whether you control, most importantly, the first 30 minutes after waking up. And if you don't control those, that's absolutely terrible. And no 5 a.m. wake-ups will save you. So this is 100% bad. Next, there's a tool called an info diet. An info diet is not bad. I'd say an info diet is a foundation because you 100% need to filter the content you consume. If you listen to meaningless things, if you listen to some stupid motivation like motivational videos or affirmations, of course, all that will weigh on your mind, you need to strictly filter your media space, what information you consume, what you listen to. An info diet is a foundation. If someone hasn't filtered their phone space, then you're absorbing other people's meanings. Congratulations. Every single day, garbage is being poured into your head and you consume it with a happy face. So you need to strictly filter and leave only what's truly useful, only what creates value, not what leads you somewhere else or throws in some meaningless stuff. And finally, we have one last method left. The last piece of self-development advice, the zero draft. This is also 100% a system hack. It's a working thing that I use on myself. You've probably 100% heard about it. If you haven't, okay, no problem, I'll explain. The zero draft can be called a cheat code against procrastination. That is, if your problem is that you're afraid to start something, afraid to do something imperfectly and therefore don't start at all, you need to hack the system. The hack here is that you intentionally, deliberately make your first attempt as bad as possible. For example, you need to write a term paper. It's a huge, gigantic task that's demotivating. You just realize how much you need to do. You don't want to sit down and start. Instead of writing the entire huge paper right away, sit down and write a paragraph of complete nonsense, no commas, absolutely incoherent gibberish. For example, you need to go to the gym. You don't want to. You picture an hour and a half of lifting iron, undressing, changing, showering. There'll be a bunch of people there waiting for your turn on the machine. No extra thoughts needed. Come in, do one set with an empty bar, and leave. This way, you remove the paralysis of the perfect result. Instead of a perfect action that you'll never take, you need to start and do at least some stupid, absolutely sloppy, terrible action. And what happens next? That's when physics takes over, action breeds motivation, and you get drawn into the process. Appetite comes with eating. If you do something crookedly, it's infinitely better than what you planned perfectly. In the process, you'll get pulled in. I thank everyone for watching. I hope this tier list was at least interesting and ideally useful for you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, hit like. Good luck, everyone.